Hey guys, what's up? It is December 30th today when I'm filming this, and Christmas was just a few days ago. And I don't know what it was that made me think of this, but something reminded me of the 1914 Christmas Truce last night, and I just started thinking about it. I guess I'm just still thinking about Christmas stuff. So, um, what happened is in 1914, right before Christmas, it had been raining a lot. And right before Christmas Eve, I think it was, it quit raining. And a lot of the water kind of froze and it got a lot drier. The it, it's never been in the military or anything, but I have lived. I mean, I have been homeless. So when it rains a lot and everything gets wet, especially if it's cold, it's just miserable. And these dudes were living in trenches, so obviously all the water settles in the lowest points of the landscape. So the trenches were very very wet places, and so when everything dried and the guys were no longer wet and cold, just cold, um, things were a lot better. So that was encouraging for them, you know. And then I think it was Christmas Eve night. The German soldiers started lighting these little things like little Christmas trees, kind of. The way I understand it, I don't know. I wasn't there, and they lit them, and the British could see the little lights across no man's land. And then the German soldiers started singing Silent Night in German, I guess, because they're German. And the British could hear them across no man's land in their own trenches singing Silent Night. And so some of the British started singing it too, because even though they were singing it in different languages, like the British were singing it in English and the Germans were singing it in German, it's the same melody. So they could kind of sing along with each other and the melody would be the same. It's the same song, you know? So I was just, last night I was sitting around, I was trying to imagine what that would have been like. Like imagine it's dark and you're looking around and like as far as you can see there's trenches in every direction and craters and you know just like mess everywhere, and then everybody around you starts singing Silent Night on Christmas Eve, and there's no more gunshots or anything. Nobody, I mean, probably there's still probably gunshots far away, but what ended up happening is a bunch of dudes started sticking their heads up above the trench and getting out and walking across no man's land um, to talk to the people on the other side, the British and the Germans. A lot of them kind of met in no man's land and started smoking and drinking and eating and giving each other Christmas presents. And a lot of them, not all of them sadly, but a lot of them agreed that on Christmas the next day, they weren't going to fight. And so they woke up, the on Christmas morning, and just met in no man's land again, and nobody. Uh, I mean, I'm sure there were some people that were crazy or something, but for the most part, at least in this area, uh, everybody they they had Christmas together, and they helped each other bury their their dead comrades, and they played games and gave each other presents and stuff. And I think that that day, Christmas Eve and Christmas on 1914, I think that that's probably one of the most important days in known human history, because of what it means about us people. Is that even even in a situation like that, where it's more stressful really than anybody can tolerate, and it's scary and dangerous, because like, that the other side could just start shooting at you or whatever. All of those guys that had Christmas together that day, from opposing sides in the war, all of them decided to risk it, and all of them decided that even though they were supposed to be shooting each other, it was better to have empathy and try to understand the other side, and see the other side as people. And so this morning I was on YouTube, just catching up with whatever was going on, and I saw a video by Asmongold, and he was talking about, or he was reacting to a video about how Iran right now is um, falling apart pretty much. Their inflation has gotten so bad that they can't buy anything, most of them, and they're running out of water for some reason. I haven't been following this story or anything. I just ran into it this morning, but apparently they're pretty much out of water. Um, I guess the whole country. I don't know. I don't know the details, but that means that something needs to change soon, within the next couple of days, because you can't live very long without water. So I don't know what they're going to do, but something needs to change over there pretty much immediately. And I'm an American. Like, I have lived in the U.S. my whole life. I've never left the country. And Americans kind of get picked on about that. Like, people from around the world kind of joke that Americans, most of us don't have passports, and most of us never travel to other countries or anything. And part of the reason for that, I think, is that America is just so big. Like, you can drive for really a long time and you'd still be in America. And like, you could take a plane, somewhere else, but there's so much in America that, like, a lot of people just don't really need to go anywhere else. If they need to travel, or do something different for a little while or whatever, they can just go to another part of America, because America's so big, and there are a lot of different like regions and cultures and stuff in America. Like all of these cultures and places, they're very geographically and culturally different, are all in the same country, you know. But I think that Americans kind of tend to have, or a lot of Americans tend to have a kind of like simplistic view on other countries like Iran and like Russia or China or you know North Korea or whatever, and they think that those countries are just bad countries. But the truth is, it's nothing is that simple. You know, like they're not bad countries. The people of these countries are just regular people. It's the governments that are bad. You know, and a lot of people could say that the U.S. government is bad, and to that I would partially agree. But um, but it's not like the Iranian people or the Russian people who are bad. You know what I mean? And I think that we need to remember that we need like it's necessary that we remember that because it's not their fault necessarily that bad things are happening in their country. Like a lot of it's just mismanagement of, I mean, in some cases, like these dictatorships who really don't have their people's best interests at heart, who abuse their own people and and the people of other countries. It's it's important that we remember, that we remind ourselves and practice changing our mindset, and that we remember that all of these other people all over the world are just people, just like you and me. We're not all that different. We're all kind of the same to a degree. We might have different cultures, and there might be language barriers, but language barriers really don't matter all that much. I kind of wish that I don't kind of wish. I really wish that the kind of Christmas spirit could last all year. You know, the the kind of spirit of giving and empathy and not judging people. You know, it's like we get reminded once a year, every year. You know that it's to give. You know, to give and to care about people. It's like the season of giving, you know, that's what they call it, but I think that should be all year. We always have the option, you know, like the guys in World War II at the Christmas truce. We all have the option to either have this suspicious, defensive, hostile mindset towards each other, towards people of other cultures or who speak different languages. We can have that kind of mindset, or we can decide to take a risk and choose to have the mindset that we're all kind of in this together, and to look past cultural differences and language barriers and try to see the people for who they are, and to realize that they're just like us, you know. So I think that that's all I had to say. It's almost New Year, so I hope that you guys had a great holiday, you know, Christmas or whatever holiday you celebrate. And I hope that you have a great New Year. And like and subscribe if you like my videos. It helps me a lot. I'm trying to get monetized. And I'll see you guys later.